The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour on the anniversary. That's not really, I guess it's the 30th anniversary, but it's also the day, if you've been living in a cave, that they went back to the future in the second movie. And of course, this was one of those days where everybody was supposed to have the shoes that tied themselves and hoverboards and cars flew in the air. And boy, do I feel gypped. Boy, we didn't get any of that stuff. Even the Jetsons. I was hoping for that little Rosie the robot to clean up my house. None of that either. What else can you say? We'll go and actually talk about market stuff, I guess, if we've got to. But looking forward to it. Of course, they went into the future at 4:30. And guess what is happening today? Me and my nerd friends, me with the propeller heads and the nerds, we've got tickets for 4:30 for that show of Back to the Future. And it's probably playing around a lot of areas around the country. I know it's playing at 2 theaters close to me, so we picked one. But we've already got tickets, and we're ready to go. So what does the market have to say about Back to the Future? Well, that's kind of my theme today, and that is probably, let's just go back to the past. And by the past, I mean about 6 weeks ago. And that was when the market, the wheels were falling off the market. What did we have? We had a market that came down and had incredibly light volume. I spent, 3 or 4 or 5 days showing everybody all the stocks that had no volume at the bottom. Well, I did that and wasn't bearish, didn't think that the markets were going to fall off to the edge of the earth. The reason why was, of course, so many stocks with light volume. At the bottom, we were probably going to get a decent bounce. Well, I've seen bounces like this several times and knew that the big selling normally comes after what James Wyckoff and other people called the reaction. You get a big slam down, the market comes back up. Sometimes it comes up 50%, sometimes 75%, sometimes 100%, whatever. But normally you'll get a bounce out of the market. And I have a warning at the end of every one of my shows that says, sow when you can, not when you have to. What is happening and what will happen, I believe, or at least I'm predicting and speculating, is that this is your chance. And you're not going to get another one. Generally, you do not. But I suspect that we have every indication that the market is ready to sell. Is it going to just be they pull the plug out of the bathtub and all the water goes out at once? I don't think so. I think we've got enough headwinds for various things that we could see a lot of movement down. I don't suspect it's going to be as violent as the last move down and as quick. It's going to be longer. And there's a few things that make me think that. But one of them was pretty much picking when the market was going to roll over today, almost a couple of days ago. And there are some common things that happen at highs in market. We already have plenty of positions in the daily newsletter, and we have a big winner in the Tech Insider. I'll probably be adding more positions to that very shortly. But you probably can't make a lot off of being 6 or 7 points here off the S&P. But right now, the market's acting exactly as it should have, pretty much exactly as it did in 2000 after we came off hard at the beginning of the year. You had that bounce into March, excuse me, and it was about a couple of months. I've seen it happen many times before, and that is you'll get the big sell-off, you get a pullback, And it's not in 2 or 3 days or a week. It takes a month, 2 months, sometimes 3 months for these things to develop. You get back up, all the volume falls out, and that's it. You start making your ABCs on the way down. But I didn't think that normally the market just doesn't fall apart. Probably 85% of the chance, if you are on the extreme far wrong side of the market, you'll get at least one chance to get out. And I suspect that what we have here today is as good as it gets. I can't guarantee you the market will fall down. I can tell you that I am speculating that we will have some long-term headwinds. And I think probably some of the people that read my newsletter the last couple of days may think that I had a stroke or an embolism or something. But I have probably spent more time looking through charts in the last couple of days, listening to every kind of earnings call I can listen to see the tone and what people are actually saying, not what CNBC tells me they're actually saying. And you probably don't have to go any farther than to look at something like CMG today or Valiant or the rest of them. Stocks don't act like that in a bull market. We are priced absolutely for perfection. If everything isn't perfect, you are getting slammed. And one of the things I brought up yesterday, I guess maybe not yesterday, maybe today, was look for these stocks that have incredible earnings ratios. CMG, 40 to 1. You're going to have to huge time out there. Tesla, I don't know what's infinity for price earnings ratios for a company like that would have to grow 10 years. We've seen it hit fairly hard. In fact, what's it doing right now? It's kind of flat. It's off $1.50. I've seen some of the absolute best stock manipulation today, and my subscribers to the Tech Insider probably, if they were watching the market today, probably are pulling their hair out now thinking, why didn't you do anything? And now they're probably figuring out why I didn't do anything. Sometimes it's just best to sit on your hands. But as we see this market and see how things come out, this is exactly how markets at top act. They make it almost impossible to short. And you will always have, in fact, one of the best indicators I have of this market going down is stocks going up. Because when stocks go up, like Weight Watchers did in the last day and two days, over basically nothing, this is a wonderful example of how markets actually trade at a top. The euphoria is so thick you can cut it with a knife. And did anything really fundamentally change with Weight Watchers in 2 days? The answer is no. Did their ads improve? Is she going to be the spokesman for the company? I mean, she made, what, $100 million in 2 days? I don't know what it's trading at today. I know that's what she would made at the close of business yesterday. Not really. But markets are so on the razor's edge when you're at highs that you see stocks like that, you see other stocks that run, and you go, this can't be the start of a bear market. But I've seen it several times. I saw similar stuff in 98. I saw and really understood what I was looking at in 2000 and again in 2007 and 2008. But you'll get a signal. This one may be a little bit more muted. I'm not expecting it to be as bad as 2007 or 2000, but I do suspect that it will feel like it to anybody that's been trading on a market that has been juicing. Janet Yellen and before her Ben Bernanke, juicing the market, big amounts of steroids being added to it. The reality is what happens when the drugs wear off, or, you got that monkey on your back, and it is coming to an end, and to an end at a theater near you. In the meantime, why don't we get this started, this party started?
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And on this day in 1910, a massive explosion destroys the Los Angeles Times building in the city's downtown area. Of course, killing 21, injuring many more. Since then, the Los Angeles Times publisher, Mr. Otis, a virulent opponent of unions, believed that the bomb was directed at him. He hired the nation's premier private detective, William J. Burns, to crack the case. In addition to printing numerous editorials against the union, Otis was the leader of the Merchants and Manufacturing Association, a powerful group of business owners with extensive political connections. I thought it was very interesting to think about every time we hear about something bad happening now, that like it never ever happened in the past. Today, if this happened, it would be terrorism. Terrorism, I say. People would be running down the streets with their hair on fire. There's very little that's new in this world or even in the United States. Whatever has happened before will happen again. And if it happened before, you can bet it will probably happen again. But I thought it was just a very interesting one. Of course, the ramifications of this trial were very interesting because Clarence Darrow took the case of these malcontents that blew up the building and ended up getting in hot water himself. He did live through it, though, and ended up being in the lobes and the other cases. What was the other one? The Soaps? I think it was called Soaps trial. But it was still there. But we do and will get started out here. Of course, today, after the bell, we've got yet another sludge of stocks coming out. American Express, Citrix Systems, Core Laboratories, CoreLogic, Crown Castle, Equifax, Knight Transportation, Las Vegas Sands, SanDisk, of course, but it's being bought out, Tractor Supply, and United Rentals. So a lot of stocks. I suspect we're going to have some, at least 2 or 3 stinkers out of the bunch out there. Kind of hard to tell exactly, but we're starting to get and see this earnings cycle come truly on with stocks like CMG today and others. And what else do we have? I got a lot of stuff on my list out here. Yesterday, I said that I thought that Dell and the AMC deal would never get the cash. Now, according to CNBC, they've got it. I'm wondering if they just said they got it, they really got it. It just seems to me like someone would have to be insane to give them all the money for that deal, but I don't know. Bankers seem to know the least, seem to put out the most amount of money at the worst time. Anyway, just a thought. We've got a major announcement coming back from the break, so hang on.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Thinkorswim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And it is one of those days, isn't it? Got more stuff going. I guess that's it. Well, today is a very important day. And by important, I mean it's the day that Andy Hecht's mother bored him on this day many, many years ago. 56 years ago, he says young. I don't know where that young thing started. When I hear my age, I don't think young. But what can you say? I always say it's the year. It's not the year, it's the miles. But happy birthday, Mr. Andy Hecht, my brother from another mother. But we're going to have a good day today. Everybody, they got fireworks going off in the Tiger's Den. We've got a marching band coming in and a circus coming down the street. But that's it. Anyway, besides that, we got a lot of other stuff going on. We're going to get to the most dangerous chart in the world. But first of all, I need a little juice.
But I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity I need.
Well, I've got it now. And I'm going to go to the most dangerous chart in the market right now. And the reason it's the most dangerous is it was, and I guess it still is, probably the strongest stock that I can find in technology. I've been showing this for a few days in the newsletter and even in the Tech Insider to really give the idea that we have a very dangerous market. That is CRM, Salesforce. They just came off their big to-do. This thing should have had all the juice in the world. I'm not going to be shorting it. It's still probably a good company. But these stocks, like I said, any of these stocks that have huge price earnings multiples are getting absolutely crushed. April 29th, $78.46, 28 million shares. We got into that just a few days ago with 4.3 million shares. And for stocks that have made it all the way back up to their top, pretty much exactly what we're getting. You get some false breakouts, light volume. Most of these either instantly failed or come back into their trading range. But as we start looking at a great deal of these stocks and more that we'll look at out here today, it continues to be a problem. Also there are a few stocks that are higher, but to me, they certainly aren't the ones that had the biggest run-ups. Most of these stocks that had big moves today are all about short interest and these things getting squeezed, much like we saw with Weight Watchers. This did just about everything it should have today, and on lighter volume, at least at the moment, just 1.6 million shares on Tupperware, TUP. Of course, July 23rd, this thing was back into its high, but it gapped down on 2.5 million shares, which is really what mattered. Is that right? Yeah, 2.5 million shares. Next day, it actually came up on 1.5, but it's you gap down with 2.5 million shares. It got into it about halfway today. 1.6 million shares so far today and coming back down. But we talked about this pattern a few days ago, maybe. I'm starting to lose my mind. This season where earnings comes out, I'm probably going to just have to cut down on the amount of stocks I look at and try to get more sleep, because I have to tell you, I'm a little frazzled. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. Last night, of course, it was all the alarms going off for China. We haven't even gotten into that. It looks exactly like it did when it fell apart last time. Anyway, Tupperware out here down on a big gap, 2.5 million shares. And, of course, 1.6 million's out here on the side. And, we've got a few others. I wanted to get to Boeing, as that one was another one that looked, kind of interesting out here. It's just very tough for me to figure out how to get very excited about shorting Boeing. I know it came back with the general market. It just seems to me like Salesforce. It may be a stock that's pulling back. It just seems to be one of the best defended out there in the market. And I don't know what else you can say about it other than that. But I need another taste of Back to the Future.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think, McFly, think.
Yes, McFly, think. And at the same time, one more round of applause for Andy Heck and the day that his mother bored him so many years ago. In the meantime, when we come back, we've got a lot of stocks to look at. Kind of flat at the moment, but market hadn't really moved. 5 off 5 on the S&P cash, but we tested that high one more time. Well, I'm getting excited. In just 2 hours, my movie starts, and I will be Back to the Future one more time. We'll be back from commercial in just a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
That's right. We're going to do it with style here today. We're going to look at a few other stocks out here that seem to get awful close to these highs on volume. American Airlines saw this one test the September 17th high at 44.59. Had 12 million shares yesterday. Got into it with 7.6 million shares. So we're seeing enough of these come out. Energy really bad on these airlines? No. But I think that there's a lot of other stocks out here that look a lot more vulnerable out here. Baidu is one of those stocks. Again, like I said, I was up late last night and actually woke up again at 4 o'clock at some stuff. So I'm running on a very light amount of sleep, and maybe why I'm a little batty today. But I continue to look at these Chinese stocks and think maybe even with half of them not trading and nobody able to sell anything that has over 5%, that it still may not be enough. I look at Baidu out here. It got back up into the retracement high on August 28th that had 8.4 million shares. Got into that just a couple of days ago with half that, 4 million shares. Yesterday we had a little less than 3 million shares. Today, we're going to probably come into 3 million shares. But to me, at best, you've got a trading range from 155.86 back down to this 130.77 from the September 24th low. but I don't see a lot out here that changes what's going on. I continue to look at the Baltic Dry Index that tells me everything continues to shrink. So I don't have a lot out here. CNO Financial, starting to see some of these smaller banks really test these highs in reverse. And this is the June 22nd, $19.49 high being tested just a few days ago. I think we're really starting to see these things roll at the moment. Today we're down with 837,000 shares, but there's a great deal more. We talked about CRM. Did I finish up on that? I'm losing my mind out here. It's just, if there was one stock that told the story of this market, I think it's CRM. C-Trip is another one of these companies that makes me think that we've got probably about as much out of the tail end of this bounce as you can. When we look at the September 16th high, $73 from C-Trip, 4.9 million shares. We got into it with even half yesterday, 2.3 million shares. Today, not a lot of volume on the downside, but most of these stocks that I'm looking at that are rolling over and down, you got the very light volume, you get 2-3 days, and then you start moving back down like CRM did. So to me, that's kind of interesting. One of the canaries in the coal mine I've always seen has been these triple stocks. Once you really start coming back into the supply line of these things, you can really get a good idea where this market is headed. And what I like about the August 27th high out here, it had 6.8 million shares. You got back into this $28 range in the FAS on September 17th with 7.4 million shares. Last few days, 3.3, 3.2, 2.5 today, and a little bit of reversal out there today. I'm starting to get a real sense of kind of what I was doing, just the opposite, when I was yelling about all those stocks that were down on no volume. I think we're kind of back up to the high side of that. We were talking about Jabil Market. I wanted to see how this thing really started to trade after we got Flextronics earnings out. Of course, we've talked about Flextronics when their earnings came out, and they had a nice bounce. So did Jabil Circuit. But the whole deal is that these companies make and assemble products for other companies. If you need to build 100,000 of something pretty quick, you can get them to assemble your electronic projects. In fact, they're in Tampa here. But this thing came down on a fairly decent gap back on, June 18th with 8.6 million shares. The best you got out of this as it came back up was a day that it tried to get up that on 13 million shares, but it never quite got there. It kind of almost had a reversal that day. Slowly has gone back up to this high, but 2.5 million shares 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 million shares, 2.3 million shares yesterday, and then you get the reversal. So you're watching this kind of pattern, which is the pop back up. It's on light volume, you get a couple sideways days, and then you start getting the pullback. Now, if you're looking at confirmation, what you want to be looking at is a volume start coming into these stocks tomorrow to give you a good idea that maybe at best on Jabil, you've got a trading range that's higher out here. What else do we have out here? Lear Corporation, no longer the Jets. This is all the other stuff that you used to do. But I find these stocks out here on light volume very, very interesting. June 23rd, we saw 118.50 with 1 million shares, and yesterday basically a little less than 700,000 shares. Today so far 370,000 shares and a little doji. These are really starting to show that there's that. Now, is this the kind of market collapse kind of pattern? No, but volume was and energy was less on the way back up on these next legs than it was on the way on the first leg up. And it really tells you that things are probably getting about as good as they could get. One of the other things out here that I look at most of the time is like Steelcase, Herman Miller, office furniture kind of companies that give you a good indication as to what's happening in corporate America. And if you go back to November 11th of 2014, you saw a high at $32.21 with 1 million shares. tried to get into it and with a big reversal on June 25th. And it had a lot of volume, but it just blew back down to the other side. Now we're back up here. Yesterday we had 778,000. Today, we're up here with 266 and kind of a reversal signal. So we'll continue to be very, very cautious. I kind of think that maybe we also have a reversal setting up in some of the companies that are in the travel space, or at least a little weakness. Maybe stocks like Priceline look a little iffy to me. Royal Caribbean should be strong as bull going into the fall and a cold winter. This thing looks like it's losing kind of some of its push. 2 dojis in the last couple of days as this thing comes down into the high volume down day of September 22nd. That day had 4.1 million shares. Yesterday we had 1.6 million shares. Got 1.6 million shares again today. And again, I'm seeing a lot of these light volume, and then meow, just going off the other side. So it is what it is. But to me, I'm seeing enough of these stocks out here to figure it out. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always post requests in the den. But we can do that. What else do we have out here? Take a quick look at the markets. Check back in and look at our volume. Had a nice little pop out here on Valiant, back up to 2030 on the S&P cash, 2.4 billion shares. Volume's going to be light again today, but what can you say? Okay, Simon Property Group. This is kind of interesting to me also, and that is. Let me look at some other stuff out here. Just got to check on a few of my positions. Still look good, still look good, still look good. Okay. Good. Okay. Anyway, Simon Property Group, back to the chart, already in progress. This one's coming right into that January 28th high, 206.31, had 1.6 million shares. This gap has been acting as resistance for a while. Each time you come up here, you find some big sellers. Saw a little spike out here with 1 million shares today. So I'm going to be watching this very close on this. Energy was pretty good, a lot of shorts. I'm really seeing the volume kind of roll off in the last 4 or 5 days as we go back up into these highs. But again, one of the other stocks that is at highs. So what's happening out here? Trina Solar. This one's actually starting to fill some of the gaps, but more important to me in the solar space is the previous highs on August 18th. This one got into $11 with 8.3 million shares. So we get back up to this level. What do we get? 2.9 million shares, 2.7 million shares. 3 days ago, 2.2 million shares. Yesterday, 2 million shares. And today, about 2 million shares, but a reversal out of here. And like I said, just starting to see a lot of these stocks get the kind of treatment that says maybe lower. Urban Outfitters been watching to see. I've seen a lot of stocks actually get down to these lows, and then even worse news comes out. Kind of like, well, I think you've got cancer. And then you get Ebola. So you don't have any chance whatsoever. But Urban Outfitters, I'm watching this one. I don't, the volume on light volume with these dojis looks interesting. But to me, this sector is so bad. I've seen 3 or 4 other stocks like this where you get a couple dojis, it looks kind of interesting, and boom, the next day these things just hop on down the other side again. And I don't know what else you can say. $28.22 on August 24th, 4 million shares. You got into it with 3 million shares, so volume a little lighter. But normally you get volume like you had yesterday, 1 million shares. Man, you get about 1 day, maybe 2 days on that light of volume. You should be seeing some action on this. So I'm going to be watching this in the next day. Of course, a lot has to do with earnings. Visa, one of the few companies, again, up here on highs, but not any volume. Yeah, I'll get to ISRG. Got a request in the den, and got some requests in the email that I'll get to too. Visa, let's finish this up and we'll get the other two. $76.80 on July 24th, 21 million shares. So we get into that with 9.9 million shares 3 days ago. Yesterday, 8.1 million shares. And today, a little reversal out here, 4.6 million shares. Now, can we still kind of turn around and maybe bust these highs? Anything's possible. The energy was not all that bad on the way up, but it was less than the volume up off of August 24th. But to me, it looks like it probably the best. You can talk about a bigger trading range to the upside. So maybe $77 to $67. At the worst, we come back down there, we gain some momentum next time, and we blow through some of these bigger lows out here. So let's get to ISRG and look at it. Nice pop out here. I suspect the problem with ISRG is just the massive short interest in the stock and the huge amount of puts on it. Do I think it's going back up to the top? I mean, it's got decent volume out here and a nice gap, but my guess is the kind of semi-reversal, the inability to hold 520 into the close today and more like this thing's going to close at 500 tells me that you've just got kind of a bounce. I suspect that if the market pulls back, you're probably, maybe you get to 526. I think we saw some prints like that after the bell last night that were close, at least maybe 515. I think I saw maybe 520. Maybe you can see something like that again, but to me, probably a bigger trading range from about that 526 back down to 447 if I am right on the general direction of the markets. What else do we have? IWM. IWM kind of getting a reversal signal out here. Of course, if money's going to be hard to come by, the worst it has been smaller companies, and this just means it's not going to get any better. We've got a little bit of increase in volume. We've had 3 days that were basically sideways days. This is starting to pull back out. Don't have a lot of volume yet, but normally what I suspect in the IWM is you've got about 2 more days out here. And I mean, you got a nice test of the low on September 29th, which is one of the reasons I'm picking something other than IWM to bet to the downside. But to me right now, the lowest hanging fruit are companies with huge multiples that can't grow into them. CMG, Salesforce, I wouldn't short it, but Salesforce, a lot of those companies with sky-high earnings compared to their values that you're going to have to hold 2-3 years into the future seem to me the ones that are now the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit, of course, last time was the IBB going into the lows, but that's it. Yeah, he says, hello, this is Al Shaw. He says, hello, I'm short IWM and the QQQs. Will give me one more test of the highs. I don't think so. I think I think you're okay. Not a bad short in the IWM. I think you can get back down there, but to me, I wouldn't be shorting the IWM for $8. Like I said, I think that they're better and lower hanging fruit out there if you just look a little farther. We'll be back in a moment.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Anyway, we're looking at the IWM. We looked at Visa pretty much before. Do I have another email? Where's my email? Come on, Mr. Email. Oh, there you are. So I have one more request. John from West Virginia says he wants to ask me what's going on with Apple today. APLL. Let me actually put it in there. APPL. Put it in correctly. Do I have it? Can't even spell AAPL. Now, I'll get it ready one of these days. You know, this thing's just kind of bouncing back up here. Certainly not a lot of volume, but every time I saw a movement in this stock, I saw people selling into others. And as far as I can tell, in the little bounce yesterday, but light volume, no follow through yet today. And this thing, it just looks to me like it's the last hurrah. Could you get 116.89 out of it? Maybe that's where we get one more little bounce out of the market. But to me, the news coming out of Apple is extremely poor. We've talked about their new product, which is kind of the reason I suspect we got a little bounce out of it yesterday. There was a lot of happy talk about the Apple TV. I'm not buying it. I've played with the Apple TV, and for me, Chromecast at $30 does about everything I need it to do. I don't believe any of the brouhaha that they're pushing. I guess that's easy word to use for it, about how the App Store is really going to mean that they sell that much more stuff. It seems rather tortured that that's going to be it. Two, the other issue has to do with Apple TV. Even yesterday, they still don't have a deal with CBS and some of the other major broadcasters. No one wants to make a deal with them. They know what happened when they did the deal for music, and nobody in Hollywood wants anything to do with Apple becoming the major force and being able to tell people what they can and cannot do. They all know and read the articles about how Apple treated the people in the book and ebook department. They know how Amazon did too, but Apple basically has a much better, bigger stick to hit them with. I just don't see it actually becoming a big deal. And I don't believe the other story that they're pushing out in the last couple of days, that it's going to be a game machine and it's powerful enough for everybody to play games. If you're playing ditzy games that don't need a lot of power, you can use your iPhone. The idea is that they'll play the same ditzy games that they play on the iPhone on their TVs at home. And with an Xbox, if your kids ever played one, it's not going to happen. And they're not going to be buying lots of games. In fact, Microsoft basically almost owning that sector is still having problems selling into that. I don't think Apple's going to even have a Ice Cube's chance in Hades of getting past it. So I see a lot of movement out here. To me, maybe just the last little hurrah after some distribution, maybe a little push out here so that they can sell other stocks, because the easiest thing to do is push this one up and sell everything else at the same time. But I'm very bearish on this market right now, if you couldn't tell. But in the meantime, I will remind you, if you're thinking about selling, maybe not a bad time to do so. In the meantime, as always, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time. Same bat place.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.